right, y'all, it's still Tuesday. Just got off my call. It was awesome getting to chat. But we're going to inventory Hobbit, I think it's called Barrel Run set. Is that what it's called? It is called Barrel Escape. I'll call it Barrel Run every time. I'm gonna inventory that. I was gonna do a time lapse of it to kind of show what that process looks like. Might be a little crazy. I don't have a great spot for the camera, so we'll see what's what. The garage, let's see. It's looking cleaner. Gimbal is a little off center, but garage is looking cleaner. Shame pile's back where it belongs in the dark. There's now 2 boxes full of bags of new Lego parts that I don't know what I'm gonna do with. It's all brand new and either sealed or straight from Pick-a-Brick, so not sure what to do there. And then more shame pile stuff over here, bulk bin. I did go through some bulk today and pull out the rest of the minifig stuff. So there's a big minifig pile left to go. There's also some bulk being cleaned because it looked like a marker had broken into it. And for the very first time ever, I poured bulk out onto the wood table raw. So like I just poured it on there because I couldn't find the sheet thing that I normally put out. So I was like, oh, I'll just put it on here, whatever. And of course, there was a broken marker in there, and I was able to wipe everything off with Windex and whatnot, but like, a little frustrating. Learned again never to do that. So there's a reason there's a sheet. Normally it's because of all like the dog hair, the dust, all that stuff. So just trying to keep that separate. So a lot's been moving. And then I just have like a massive pile of boxes now. That's from all of the acro mills that I just put up. That's the rest of my UCS sets that I need to find somewhere else to live. More shame, and then some just bulk containers. The 3 containers down there, I give away to whoever I can. I'll have people that are in the Lego space that I end up giving stuff away to because I only like to keep a couple of sizes of bins. And now I have maybe like 70 of those bins. I think I'm going to get rid of those and push fully into my my big Sterilite bin, which is on the top over there, and then these shoebox bins. Just because I find myself only ever using those, they're the most cost effective, and they're the thing that we have the most of. And so I think I'm just going to push fully into those 2, and then just get rid of everything else. I hate having extra bin parts. I don't know why it bothers me so much. If I need a lid for something, I want one lid. I don't want to try on a different lid. I don't want to house a bunch of different quality lids. Like there's just a lot to it, and you don't want different sizes. Like what fits, and yeah, I don't know. I very very early determined that I'm not going to be the person that has 7 different container types and uses it for different stuff. I was like, I'll use 2 for my main stuff. And then I also, when I do, when I'm sorting accessories, I have these are from Target. They come in a square, rectangle, smaller square, and bigger rectangle. You buy them as a little set. Those are my favorite. I just like that they're, I don't know, vertical walled. There's no like curves to it. They all fit and go next to each other really nice. They'll make a nice little gridded tray thing, and so when I'm sorting, they all go right next to each other, and they nest kind of, or they sit inside of each other. And so I think I'm getting a couple more of those because I'm running out, because my shape pile is too big. Don't tell anyone. So I think we need a couple more of those and just invest into the things that I like that work and go about it that way. But I'm going to shoot this time lapse. This one should be good because I shouldn't need to be looking for a lot of stuff. It should be there. There is the Quickie Mart stuff that's out here also. I really want to get the Quickie Mart done because once I do that, I can push all of this stuff live. The only problem with the Quickie Mart is I know that the car for it and the police car and this minifig are in my back room where the large collection I just bought are. It's in some bins or in some bags. And so I need to go through those bags in order to find it, in order to clean it, then break it down and put it into, then sort it by color in order to be able to inventory it. So otherwise, there's just going to be a ton of missing parts, and don't want that. That's what happened on my pirate ship until I found that I could identify that there was a catapult that was missing, and I was able to complete it after I found the catapult. So yeah, I have to just cut up a bunch of bags in the back in order to find out where that little car is. But this should go smoothly. Yeah, and then I'll do a little video showing off what it looks like at the end. Sweet. All right, that took about 23 minutes to complete. Really fast. There wasn't a lot of stuff that was missing. There was one reddish brown, was it a 1x2 brick with a clip on it that was missing that I didn't see in any of the other stuff. Probably broke and then they tossed it or something. Like, those clip pieces are pretty precarious. So pretty wild. I was really happy. So there were 3 parts that were missing. There were that. I remember when I was taking it apart, 2 brick hinges broke. So I already had that on my wanted list, and then 2 gold keys, which I don't know if I have. I'll check. But the way that I handle it is, you might have seen me marking off pages. So this is what a page looks like when it's all done. Just everything on it's crossed out. Most of the time it gets an additional X on it. If it has things that weren't found, then it gets a big circle on it. So the 2 pieces of paper that had parts missing have the part circled. It has the part number and everything. These are the part numbers also. And so I'll double check on the paper. I'll double check on this one that I wrote that all of these have been found when I come back to it. So I'll order those on Bricklink, and then I'll come to the set and I'll be like, here's the parts I needed. Yeah, it looks great. And then I also put the figs on the side, so like you can check them out as well. But I'll put this in the back room until I get the parts in, and then it'll get listed. But yeah, pretty straightforward. You know, having the list of parts that are needed on there is great. It ends up making it so that when you haven't touched it for like a week or 2 or 3, because it takes a while for Bricklink stuff to come in, you can have confidence in knowing that hey, you've ordered all of the stuff and crossed it off if it's off. Like the Battle for Endor that I completed, 3 months at least. Like, I've had it done and just needed the 2 parts, 2 remaining parts. I think there were quite a few because the set had yellowing on it, and so like I just tossed anything that was yellow, reordered it. The yellowing was only on the gray stuff, and it was only on some of it. And so with the deft eye, went through, chucked it, and then re-inventoried it, knowing that there were parts missing, ordered all the parts, good to go. Inventorying, I think it's about an hour per 400 to 500 parts, I think is what I was at. I'm not really sure. I know that this was a really small set and it only took about 25 minutes total. Let me see. I might be able to pull up how many parts that was. Barrel 313. So maybe 900. I don't know. It really depends. Like, it's something that, so I don't think that it's linear in the way that it scales, because when there's more parts to look through, there's more parts to sort, there's more parts to disassemble. And so I think like on a UCS set, I want to say it's like an hour per 450 or something like that. That could be really slow. I don't generally focus on the time for that stuff, because I'm not paying by the hour. It's just me doing it. I don't want to feel rushed while I'm doing it. I know that speed is important, and then it'll allow me to get to other things, but it's not at the forefront of making it not fun to some level. So yeah, happy with the finished product. Um, I think I'm going to do some more. I want to know what that number is. I want to know what the breakdown is for how fast I'm able to do that stuff. Because that felt incredibly quick, just because it was super small. But keep in mind, I got that set assembled, had to disassemble it, had to wash it, had to dry it, had to then lay it out, sort it, then go through all that stuff. So it's not just like you get it from someone, they give you the pieces with the manual and it's ready to go. Like you have to put in a lot of time. So luckily that set's expensive. That's the only reason that we do that. That we break it down like that. I think I'm listing this one for 140. I like Lord of the Rings stuff also. So like if I keep it Lord of the Rings / Hobbit, if I keep it, great. Like those figs are like absolutely dead mint with great capes, which that's why it's got a little bit of a premium on it, but shouldn't have any problem selling it. Um, yeah, sweet. Quickie Mart is next up. I don't know if I want to do that today. I'm thinking no. I think I'm going to just focus on cleaning up the rest of the room. My son's stuff is still in here. I also have, I might end up moving the table a little bit closer to the garage door, and switching some things around with it. I think I just want to try some different stuff out, because I need to make a decision on it. I don't know if you can see it from here. Uh, I have that display. It's right there. It came out really good. It looks incredible on these bookshelves. I do want to run some lighting just so I can see everything a bit better. You'll notice this is about head height for me on this back row here. Like you absolutely cannot see the prices. Here it's fantastic, but there you can't. Not a big deal. If we're not doing in-person retail anymore, but yeah, just goes to show that like this is like great for picking like between here, and here. Like if I just replicate that, spread it across all three of these, I might be able to get just that space allocated. I'm not sure. I love the way it looks though. I'm just trying to decide if getting the table space is worth it. Um, it's been so long since I've had it. I don't know if it's important. Um, so we'll find out. I might move things around. We'll see. Yeah, check in soon. All right, it's almost exactly 4. I'm going to try and make progress on the Quickie Mart. The It's just going to take a long time. I think it's 2,000 plus parts, which isn't nuts, but tons of stickered stuff. Need to be diligent about ensuring that all the stickered items are there. And then I still need to track down that cop car. So I actually need to go do that before I do anything else. So I'm not actually going to start this right now. I'm going to wait. But there'll be a time lapse, I hope. We'll see. Hey, we found it. Took 4 minutes. I'm going to clean it, break it down, and then sort it into the stuff that I have, and then get started. I'm going to try and do a time lapse. We'll see how it goes. All right. Car's getting cleaned. So glad that that's being done. I'm going to instead do a time lapse of putting together figs from the same lot that I found in the bulk bin. So there should be a bunch of them. They look pretty good. I think I picked a lot of the parts that like go to the CMFs, but we'll see. Yeah, let's see if it works. All right, I'm gonna do some minifig adding. I don't think I've done it on camera. It's probably better in real time than a time lapse, just because you can actually see how fast it is. I'm not gonna do too many. I think I've got like 10 minutes left before I need to leave. But what I did was I went through, pieced together as many of the figs as I could. So I did CMFs through just like what I know, and then set aside other ones that I knew that didn't have parts, and then non-CMFs I just left. I'll get back to them. I'll do another check as I go through. So like when I scan through Bricker, let's see. I'll actually pull it up. Let me get the camera going. All right. So I'm gonna go into Bricker inventory. Let me. I don't know if it's this one. Part one. This all came from. Make sure. Let me find the correct lot and then get it going, and then I'll pull it back up. All right, sweet. I got the right one up. My camera, I just put it right in front of me. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. And then I'll go to camera recognition, and then it's got the right camera. I'll grab the figure I want to scan, press spacebar to scan it. It'll give me two options. That's just the fig without the accessories, and then it'll give me the fig with accessories. This is the one I want. It looks like I have them already, populating that I have a default price for it. The location I want to change to limbo because that's where I'm going to end up putting them. And then I'll pin the quantity because for the most part, I only have one of each. And then I go. One thing that didn't happen, need to refresh, go here, automatically print a label for all items. And then we'll go back to, sorry, not catalog, but camera recognition. So it didn't print a label. I'm going to go here, hit this button, and then you should hear the printer. Now I have the label for it. It's all priced. The one thing that it doesn't have though is the base. So I do have bases full size over here, like extra bases for each one. So black base, weapon, fig, and then price. And then let me find my limbo bucket. That goes in the limbo bucket. And then that's it. Like that's that guide. It's that easy. While I'm doing this, there's a couple of things I'm doing. Making sure that the accessories are correct, face, all that stuff. I am going to pin limbo so it selects it each time and then pin that again. It didn't save it that time because I had to back out and change it so it'll print labels. But it's very, very quick, very easy to use. If you're not using it, I highly recommend it. I don't know where I'd be without it. I've definitely gotten to know a lot more. Like I did a lot of these CMFs without scanning. I just do the scan to verify certain things. Like on this one, I wasn't sure what color the katanas were, and they were pearl dark gray, I think, which I wasn't sure of. The nice part is it'll pull, like if I already have one, it'll remember the price for it. And then I can also click on it here and take a look at my price. So I have it on $11. It looks like I only have the one. Yep. So show me my quantities and stuff. A lot of stuff sells really quick. This is not a CMF. Make sure it's the right one. Pants, torso. I don't have it. It'll show me the price. I have a pricing formula set up, and so I'll just hit add item. I think I want to change this one. Six. And then I'll reprint the label. That's the only bad side is like it printed the label when I did my pricing formula. And so like you can waste some labels. The Dymo labels, you have to use the Dymo brand labels with the printer I'm using. Otherwise you just get so many issues. Like I've had to replace them before just because of printing issues. It's just crazy. That one I'm gonna do. But yeah, it's that simple. I'm sure I'll do another video on it on some point at some point. It's very similar for parts. Parts, it'll remember the location, and then I can go through and update the location. I'm hoping that this comes through pretty well on camera. Yeah, that's it for this. It's just one of those things that like it's a process that's gotten honed over time. And now it's so fast, like I don't even think about it. Whereas before it was a massive headache to add figs. Like, yeah, it was pretty awful. So now I don't have to think about it nearly as much. It's just Boom, go. And so like I could do a bucket like this in, I don't know, an hour at most. Yep. Cool. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any questions and we'll chat soon. Good morning, y'all. It's Wednesday. It's 8:43 a.m. Just finished picking orders. We sold about, let's see, I have it pulled up on the screen, $200 worth of stuff. Which is amazing. Is final tally was $213 yesterday. Was not good. Like I think all of those orders came in between like 9 and midnight. We had none. So like yesterday I had no orders throughout the day, which is crazy because it was like the last day of the month. And so I was expecting that tack on some more revenue and see where that final number actually ends up. But the number that I reported yesterday for the month was actually pretty much the final, because everything else well, I guess the 200 from this order is added to that, but like so anything new is for the first of the month. But just kind of weird. It happens. Thursdays and Fridays can get really weird, and then end of the month can get real weird. Financially, if things are getting tighter, people start tightening the bootstraps, all that type of stuff. And then I wonder if there's some ebbs and flows to when Lego's doing new releases as well, because then people's allocations can kind of go toward new stuff. But not sure. It's all hypothetical. No way to prove it. But let's check out what we sold. And I just want to show you this again. Man, the 3 tall is just awesome to walk out to. You just like, I can't even, I think it's a good 8 feet. Like, that's real high up there. Like when I go tippy toes, I can just barely reach the top. And so the bottom part's going to get filled up real fast, and then bad stuff will go on the top. But pretty awesome. I'm loving that. I'm not feeling great today. Hopefully I'm done battling stuff. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on. We have a young kid in daycare, so I don't know if we'll be done with this for a while. Let's check out what we sold. I have to reach out to this person because these feet are just destroyed. I don't know how these made it in here. That doesn't happen. I don't know if you can see the tops of the feet. It's not coming in super well. But they just bit to heck. What happens with that is I'll contact the person, ask them if they still want to continue with the order, and if not, cancel it for free, obviously. If it's part of a bigger order, I'll just include it and also give the refund, because like I'm not going to hold on to it. I don't think people are going to be interested in it or whatever. A lot of printed parts. That goes to a modular. Moo Child's been selling pretty well. And then 3 rock monsters, which was awesome. I've had those for quite a while. And then we got like the Hobgoblin Corvus Glaive combo, Electro, that's Proxima Midnight, and then Evan Maw. Yeah, pretty good. Marvel stuff selling always makes me happy because it doesn't. It doesn't most of the time. I'm feeling great now, just with how the space feels, getting rid of that what's it called, the shame pile, getting it put where it needs to go. And like I've done this already before, where I bring the shame pile out and then it brings me shame. I put it back away. Pretty funny. So today I'm going to finish up that bucket of minifigs that I have, that I showed you how to process. I'm going to try and finish the Quickie Mart, and then I really want to get assembling on some of these display stands, because I just don't like having big projects that need to be done that I'm not addressing. So like they're right here, one of those boxes, and the other box is a box for Cloud City. Like I need to put these together. I need to take all the figs off this one, glue all of it together, and then put all the figs back on. I'm probably going to take them off, put them on the table, and then build all the other ones, then come back and put them back on the stands thematically. Generally, what I like to do is a delineation between light side, dark side, and then moving toward the middle for like centrist people. And so like when I'm picking, it makes it a lot easier. But you also have to be a dork and know what's light side, what's dark side, what's centrist. So we'll get those done. Man. And then I have a friend that might be selling stuff. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm excited. I want to buy more stuff. Is that bad? I feel like I get the itch, man. Like when I process figs, I feel good for a couple of days, and I'm like, yeah, we got some good inventory back. We're doing all right. And then like third day, I'm like, I gotta buy stuff. I gotta get more inventory. Yeah, I don't know. You should have seen me when I didn't have this to funnel that through. And I was working and kind of miserable working. I was like, I gotta buy something. I gotta buy something. I gotta buy something. Um, and so that's how you end up with like 70 pairs of shoes. Which has served me very well because I stopped then buying shoes after I didn't have a job. And so for the last 2 years, I've just been wearing through all of this backlog of shoes that I had bought. And so that's been fantastic. It's definitely stopped the urge to buy. And then this helps in my personal life, preventing me from buying stuff and just shopping Amazon and finding that thing to fill that void because I can just buy a Lego. Buy Lego and do the same thing. And then I make money off of it. And so that feels good. But yeah, feeling physically a little bad, but emotionally and spiritually very good. So yeah, just happy with how things are going. Walking into space today, having cleaned it up, made me feel really happy. Cool. I'm sure I might do time lapse on some more stuff. My videographer, when he came over, was like, dude, your time lapses are really cool. The way that he edited it was just incredible. I was so blown away. Doing like multi time lapses in the same frame or like broken up in the same screen, like was really, really cool. And so I want to do more of that. Because I think it looks really nice and it's easy to do if I start thinking about it that way. A lot of the times I don't commit to doing something front to back because other stuff will come in. And so it'll help me stay on task a little bit. It's never like, yeah, I don't know. I say it a lot, but it's like I'm never disorganized. I'm just messy sometimes. Like I know where everything is. It just doesn't look like a sane person is working on it or whatever. But like a lot of that is I just need to pull back a little bit and evaluate what I'm working on. And so like perfect example is I want to do Quickie Mart. That's Quickie Mart. I don't need all this stuff out. This is for figs that I was working on. I need to actually complete these figs and put these parts where they go. This is stickered parts. This is parts. Should be better than that. And then this goes to Quickie Mart. It's drying. So that'll get in there. And so it's really quick to clean up, but it just needs to be done. And then this is all Quickie Mart stuff. And yeah, these are minifigs. These are CMFs that didn't have stuff. There weren't a lot of them. He's missing his, what's it called? Little brush. He's missing his compass. She's missing a treat. These guys are just missing wands. I just didn't have them on me. They're like nearby. And then she's missing like a cape and a bunch of stuff. So I think I'm going to part her. She's missing 2 things and not very valuable. I might part her because I think she's got cool parts that people want. And then these all complete. I might have the compass. I know I might have the brush too and friend stuff, but I'll have to dig through friend stuff, which sucks. But yeah, so we completed a ton of stuff. I don't have the final value. When I get the final value, I'll make a video and talk about it. But just great stuff. Like it doesn't happen where the figs are in great shape. Most of the accessories, like we did, I don't know, I already processed like 25 figures. There's another 40 in here and then another 10 over here. So 65 of them had everything and there's like about 10 that didn't. And so like that's a super insane hit rate for like this type of stuff that was just in bulk. I was also proud of my picking in that I found like, I found most stuff. It's a white 1x1 circle plate that is her treat thing. As soon as I saw that that's what that was, I was like, there's no way I picked it. Like I try and flip over all the tiles that I see when I'm doing stuff because I put it in this. And but it just, I don't know. They can go inside of other stuff. There's just a bunch of other issues. And then these are all just people with animals that fall off if I were to just chuck them in the bucket. So those are all complete as well. And And then these were other figs that just couldn't get completed. I think I have his helmet. This is Owen Grady from Jurassic Park. And then that's pretty much it. Like the Torskis, this is good. I'll add the animals. I'll probably end up dumping this in the animal bucket, sort out the hairs. I'll look at these to see which are like complete, and then add them. Like her, I'll complete her. Or she looks complete. I'll add her. And they're just basic city figs. I don't want to add like 1,000 of these burglar dudes, just because we already have a good amount. But like firemen and everything, I'll see what I can do. Like as long as I don't have to search for parts for them, I'll add them, and then just see what happens. I'd like to have them in my inventory, but you can get more lot count by having the complete fig plus having others that are taken apart and available to buy. So I'm always surprised what people buy and what they pay for them. Like our lowest price on any minifig is, except for like battle droids, is like $5. Just because like we sell a lot in person, and like if I'm going to be handling, storing, sorting, packing, shipping, all that stuff, I don't want to do it for less than $5 per fig. So like when we sell a city fig for $5 for me, I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. Like it's good money for us. But yeah. Sweet. I'm gonna get cracking. I'm gonna pack these orders and then hopefully get the rest of those figs all done. It should be simple, and then time lapse quickie mart. Kind of, I don't know. I hope it goes well. It will, right? Quickie Mart's got so many sticker parts. There's literally 2 pages of it, and like replacing them are very expensive. So I'm hoping it's all there. I'll probably give a status update halfway through or something, because I'll know really quick. Like there's something I think like you learn a lot about the people through their collection, and like if you've done this, you'll know. Like you'll see parts to sets or figures to sets that just aren't there. And so like you can almost be like, okay, there must be been 2 kids that were actually collecting, or a father and son, and some of the stuff got kept and some of it didn't. Like I just had somebody drop off a bunch of bulk. It was an incomplete Taj Mahal. Like 3 of the bags were open and the rest of it was just in brand new in bags. They did the same thing with the Home Alone house, did a little bit of it and then just chucked it like in a bucket. And like, so I went through that entire bulk, and I'm like, wow, like these people just, were affluent enough and wealthy enough to be able to buy these things and then just chuck them and not even worry about it. And then after that, I found figures to sets that weren't even like, I found a black cat, like a brand new black cat from Daily Bugle that also, like, there was not a single Daily Bugle part. And so it's like you can kind of understand the history or start to put together a narrative of like what's going on and stuff. There's been some odd ones where I think it was Goodwill stuff that somebody had gotten, where there's just no cohesion through any of it. Like you've searched through 30 pounds of bulk, and then all of a sudden you've found like a really high-end Lord of the Rings helmet that goes to a set that had tons of Lord of the Rings figs, and you're just like, where did that come from? I didn't see a single Lord of the Rings thing. Like it's weird. It's weird how you can start to tell a story. And so like with this one, with the Quickie Mart stuff, like they were on top of keeping everything together. Like there's literally, out of the 5 sets that I inventoried, I need to order 3 parts, and 2 of them I broke, and one of them just wasn't here. And it was the brown, it was a reddish brown 1x2 with a clip brick, which is like a super easy part to break. And so you kind of get to know a little bit about the people, which is like a odd thing to say, but like when you're digging through this stuff that they've had and stuff, you can kind of see what they were interested in, obviously through all the junk that's in there. Yeah, it's really weird, man. Sometimes I feel like a detective going through trash, and then like you're writing a narrative about this person that decided to sell off some Lego. But yeah, awesome. I'm gonna get to it. That's my trash detective story. Check in soon. right, that is minifigs done. I had a couple problem figs. When I'm scanning them and adding them, I'm looking to make sure that they're complete. I'm doing condition checks as well. I do condition checks when I'm putting them together, all that stuff. But there were a couple of figs that just had issues, like they were missing a piece or they had the wrong component on. Got those set to the side. I'm gonna get the CMFs that are missing parts. I'm going to add the parts to a wanted list on Bricklink, and then I'm going to put them in a bin. And when the parts come in, I'll take them out of the bin. It's not a bin, sorry, it's a drawer. I have like an order parts drawer, and so just chuck them in there. When parts come in, go in there, and then every once in a while, if I'm not finding the parts or whatever, I'll go through and cull the ones that are sitting. I think I have parts for a Lobo. I've needed a Lobo head for like over a year, and just never have come across it when I was doing orders. Just, I don't know, didn't want to spend up for it probably. It sucks when like the one part that you need is 80% of the value of the fig, and so like at that point you're upside down on it. So what I'll end up doing if I don't find it soon is I'll end up parting him out. So I'll take the hair, torso, and legs, and then just add those to inventory, and then I'll make more money off that than if I was to buy the head. And then I have city stuff. I think I'm just going to sort the city stuff into my wall of color sorted torsos and get to it eventually. And then there's animals. And there's 3 more minifigs. 4. Nice. So I'll do those real quick. They're 4 Simpsons ones. They're 3 Simpsons ones. We'll get to that, and then hopefully Quickie Mart. I hope that none of these figs went to the sets that are back there. When I was looking at them on the shelf, they all look really good at the dude's house. They look complete. Figs are still with their sets. There was 1 or 2 where there's definitely a Thanos that I set aside that I'm like, I saw this set. So I don't know. That gives me a little bit of pause. And then there was 1 other fig that I was like, oh, a Boba Fett, like it was a brown shoulder cape, like brown, a reddish brown shoulder cape, which is not one that I've seen. I've seen tan with a stripe, and so I don't know. It was weird that the only part that's weird about that is that the other figs weren't also there. So there's a Bossk fig, there's a Haunted Carbonite, there's some other figs that go with it, and the fact that those weren't in here leads me to believe that maybe the slave one's in the back, and then it's like that fig goes with it. So I might hold that one back and not list it for sale just yet. I probably shouldn't list. I think I might scratch all that. I'm not pushing any of this stuff live until all the sets in the back are done. Bad for business, good for completeness and sanity. Worst case scenario in that is that I list the stuff online, sell stuff, and then within 2 weeks come back and I'm like, oh, cool, I'm missing a bunch of stuff that I sold off. So I might just wait. Do it all at once. That means I have to hustle on this collection in order to make sure that I can get it out ASAP. What day is it? Today's Wednesday. I wonder if I could do it in 2 days. Honestly, the biggest thing holding me back is where to put it. I have it like in, I use garbage bags when transporting, like when buying a collection, put it in there. And like that way, anything that falls off stays with it. And then when I'm ready to do it, I untie or cut the garbage bag and then go through, reassemble anything that has come apart. Now, keep in mind, I try and be as diligent as possible, but it's really not hard to put the stuff back together. 99% of Lego is symmetrical, it feels like. And so like, yeah. And then manuals exist. So you just pull up the manual if you get really stuck. Yeah, I'd say like if I was given a gift, it would be like somebody puts a broken Lego set in front of me, no manual, and then boom, 100%. So that's probably feels like one of my only natural talents. But yeah, where to put it? I don't know. I bought some more boxes the other day with the idea of putting medium and small sets inside bagging them and then putting them in the boxes. That might get accelerated so that I can store stuff that's over medium on these shelves, and then also box up anything from the new collection that's medium small. I think it's probably the best plan. That collection doesn't need much work. It's again, it's just all I need to do is clean it. They're all assembled. and they just need to be dusted really well. And so how we do that, we take a makeup brush that's never been used for makeup, just for dust. Um, I'll generally pop open the garage door. I have a picnic table outside. I'll sit at the picnic table, and I have a handheld duster that just blows air, and so I'll be brushing and blowing, uh, and getting that stuff all off and everything. Sets come out like pristine after you do that. Like if you're at home, you need to figure out how to clean up some Lego sets. That's like the best thing. A makeup brush, soft bristles, just everything. You'll be amazed. Um, for really grimy dust, there's dust that's been settled for too long, maybe in high humidity. I'm not sure what causes it. Um, I do use either like the go-to is soap and water, but more so is just water. Hit it with water with a different makeup brush, um, and then get that like lathered up and whatnot, and then use the same drying gun to dry and push off the water and the grime. Um, it's like it kind of reminds me of a car wash when you're going through at the end and it's just like blowing all the water off. You can get them pretty dry looking. They're not actually dry. There's still stuff in the inside that can get pushed in that needs to be dried. So that'll happen with that. That's generally how we attack that. So it's a pretty simple process. It's been refined over time. But like the hard part about it is like it's kind of weather dependent in that like you don't want to be outside crappy day, super hot day. In Austin, we get mosquito-y days. Like in the evenings, you don't want to be doing it type of stuff. Last year was like the worst year for mosquitoes here that I've ever had. And it was because it was like overcast, would rain a little bit, like rain once a week and like stay kind of overcast for like multiple days or months in a row, it felt like. And so like it just never dried out here and it was like perfect mosquito breeding ground. Yeah, awful. So like I always have to time that and dodge that. So like that's the biggest hindrance to me being able to just go full bore through this, um, and get this collection knocked out. Um, I might end up breaking it up into two chunks. The reason that I like to push it all at once is one for completeness, like we talked about earlier, but two, there's also a cost attribution in the books on the back end of Bricker. So I put in the amount that I pay for the set, and then when I'm done, or pay for the collection, and then when I'm done adding all the items, it'll assign an equal value to each of them based on the total count of items. So spend $100 is 10 items, each item was $10, right? Like pretty simple that way. Um, there are ways to like game it if you want to do sections. So it's just like, okay, if you want to do half, split the cost in half. It doesn't really like divide it. Like if you did half minifigs at half the price of the collection and half set at half the price of the collection, it throws off your COGS calculation. It's not the end of the world, but it's just what happens. That's why like when I'm doing a collection, I just try and do like the highest densest value stuff, and then everything else gets added as a zero um, in the future. So the zero or like low amount. There are times where I'll hold stuff back. I'll buy stuff from Bricklink and then I'll use that to increase the COGS because it needed to be completed, right? So the total cost of goods gets increased because the cost that you spent to complete it has gone up. Things like that. Not a master on this. This is the first time I've like been in any type of inventory based selling space. But I have a good CPA and talk to them as much as I can about this stuff in order to make sure I'm, above board, keeping it all good, tracking it well, all that stuff. Yeah, awesome. I'm gonna tackle this stuff and then we'll check in a bit. All right, just finished cleanup. I wanted to give a total on everything that I've added. It was about $2,015 in value. That was that bucket of figs that we had gone through, and then I think there's 3 or 4 sets on there that were done pretty quickly that made it onto the shelves. So those are all in there. It's not including the rest of the sets that I have in the back that I need to go through, and then there's figs that I need to buy parts for. I was able to complete the bathtub guy and then 3 or 4 of the Harry Potter ones by adding accessories that I had from somewhere else. Um, so those were all good, but all in all, like super good haul. Like love getting figs. Both of the, can you see those? Yes, the buckets for Limbo are just like overflowing now. So those need to get adjusted. I did just find this. This is a weapon pack that goes to, I think it's Mines of Moria. When I was sorting away city pigs, there's also an accessories bin, and it was sitting right on the top. And so that's like $5 to $7 in cost, plus another 6 to 7 for shipping that I saved on that set by finding that. I need to be better about unique stuff like that. I thought I had all those parts already in my wall, so it wasn't going to be a big deal when I was looking for them. But I found like 4 of them, and I think I had sold off the others, so that became problematic. Um, it's just one of the things where I was like, well, I'll just eat it on that and then go. So now I can actually bring that. I'll go through, count, make sure there's like 2 knives, 2 swords, 2 scepters, and then an axe, I think is the total stuff. Um, and then I'll make sure that stuff's in there. And then be able to list that set and get that out. And so that was good. That was a little like when I popped that drawer open, I was like, oh, cool. I just like saved 12 to 13 bucks. All of the city stuff got sorted into the wall. Again, the way that I deal with this is I sort the torsos by color, I sort the heads by color, yellow, and then other. And then heads, helmets, accessories, and then pants get 3 categories. Basic, which is no print, just color. Dual, which is like the hips are a different color, and then printed. Go like that. The reason I do that is so that when I want to add those items to inventory, all I do is color sort them for the basic ones, right? And then I have just piles of like black, blue, green legs that I can bulk add, and I'm not just scanning one by one doing that stuff. So that saves me a ton of time. The printed stuff, not as much because it's unique, but there are like cops, firemen, robbers, and things like that that can go really quick, and you'll get a quantity. And then lastly, dual pants. That's like perfectly in the middle of those. There's certain color combinations for Star Wars troopers that go really quick and that you can get a quantity of, and really speed up your process. I currently have, I don't know, it's got to be 400 to 500 pants that I need to like add. Um, I really need to get somebody in here. I think I'm gonna reach out to Keaton, who generally helps me, and see if we can get some more regular time on the books, because this pile is just growing, and I'm not able to move through it at the clip that I want to. And while it costs more money, I should be able to make exponentially more off of that, I think. If not, I at least need to try it. Like I want to see if there's a way to scale this thing exponentially with what I currently have. And then after that, go out into the world and see if there's other ways to bring in more stuff in order to continue to scale it exponentially. So not really sure. I know that a lot of people that fail in this space, it comes on the back of growing too quick. That's not what we want to do. Margins, profitability, and living are first and foremost. That's like what we focus on. It's all that matters. And so, if we can maintain those healthy margins and able to live while continuing to bring people in to scale more, to sell more, and everything, I think it'd be great. The one thing that I'm noticing is that the dependency on me for packing and sending everything limits my total daily hours available. And so it's really not anything I feel comfortable handing off at the moment, because it's just like an extreme level of detail that you need when packing. And then also it's like the last line of defense for condition issues. And so I would have a hard time finding someone that would be cost effective, that would have that same eye and care for an extended period of time. The amount of diligence that you need when you're packing, picking, shipping, doing all that stuff is like incredible. So it is the downside. Like if I am able to bring somebody in, we're selling a lot more. I have to figure out a way to speed that up, because as it stands now, it's at least 30 minutes a day on a bad day that gets dedicated toward picking and shipping, which I know is a lot lower than most other Bricklink stores. The reason that mine is so low is dense value. I don't have a lot of parts. I just have a lot of valuable parts, and that's where I want to continue to live. Yeah, like I don't want to be picking 1,200 items from 100 lots or whatever. It's just not what I want to do. I've had one order that was like maybe 150 lots or something like that, and I didn't enjoy it. So anyway, yeah, that's the focus. we'll see where we go. I kind of lost my train of thought as the end there, but yeah, check back in. I don't think I'm gonna hit Quickie Mart today. The massive limbo buckets have to go get sorted now, because that's like if somebody places an order, I sell a fig from limbo, I have to dig through all of that. It doesn't look like much. I can see this nice. Okay, like two massive buckets like of stuff. It's just, I think my estimate. Let me see if I can actually get a number for how many figs are in there. It's a couple of different batches, and so like I'll wait a little bit before I do anything with them. Total quantity of, let me see stats on this. 106, 145 watts from the one that I just did. So we did 145. And then before that, it was easily 125. So yeah, I mean, you're talking 250 to 300 figs in there. You don't want to be digging through that. So I'm going to spend a bunch of time, scan those into their home, and then I can be done with that part of that collection. All right, that might have been the most boring video. That was just me sorting the limbo figs into their quadrant of the table. So the table goes into 4 quarters. Superhero, Star Wars, CMF, Ninjago. That's like the way that I think about it. And then each one of these cabinets in it is where I house the figures for that associated quarter. So if I pull on this, you can see it a little bit more clearly. This is one whole quarter. Now, Star Wars bled over a while ago. It's just how it goes. It can't be perfect. I might fix it in the next one. Who knows? So the reason I do that is like, I don't want to be walking all over and like putting a CMF, Star Wars hero and whatnot. And so what I do is I put 4 buckets out. This is a Star Wars. And so like, this is kind of the layout of my table, right? Star Wars, superheroes, CMF, Ninjago. I know where all these are. So like you'll see like Ninjago, right? Jurassic Park figs go in this quadrant or whatnot. And then like Disney figs go in here. And so I'll take these and then I'll start scanning them into the computer. I did notice there were, as I was doing that, I was able to do it pretty quickly because I was just looking for the black bases for CMFs and putting them over here. There's a different spot for Harry Potter figs. They go in here. Harry Potter CMFs, so we're going this one. I did notice that I didn't put bases with quite a few of these. So I'm going to go add their correct base and then throw them in and then get started. It's nice because there was an extra check. I did notice the Mickey Mouse one I listed in the wrong category, I think. So I got to update that. So good to catch these things because I probably would have just sent it out like this and I add the base inside there so that I don't have to think about it at all once it's picked, right? Like it's all good to go. So I'll get those updated and check in. All right. I did not do the Quickie Mart. Instead, I commiserated over what to do for the table, trying to figure out what I want to do. Talked with the wife for about an hour and made the decision that I think we're going to lean in heavily to continuing to allow ourselves to be able to do sales if we need to. It's not the right time to cut off everything from doing a sale. Sales also mean so it's in person, but also convention stuff. Like we have some big ticket items. We have the 3 cloud cities that we want to sell, and I don't see that happening from the garage or even on Bricklink. It could happen on Bricklink. I'm not really certain. You just have to find the right people. And I imagine it's easier to do that when you're at a convention. So what I did instead was I glued these together. So this was the stand for the other one, or for the very first one, and then I just built that one. This was deep over there. And I had done some stuff. I had used the wrong glue. The bloom was insane. It looked terrible. I masked it with masking tape. So it looks all right. I just didn't want to be reminded of it every single time I looked at this. And then you can see the low bloom glue works a lot better. There is still some if you get close to it. It's not perfect. The reason this one is this bad is because I had come up with a technique on this one, but I couldn't replicate it. Like if you look here, the seams on this, there's no bloom. Um, what I did was there's a ton of plastic you have to peel off of. There's on each side, right? I left it on, glued it, peeled it off after. And when I did that, like it was also a good litmus test for whether or not these studs had been glued down, because they would pop out. So I glued every single stud, I glued every joint, and then I glued the thing to the base. So it was a lot. But now I've got a technique. And so moving forward, it should be a lot easier. Where I really messed up was I was like, oh, I'll just leave all of the paper on both sides of the acrylic and just leave it. Or like it's like this sticky protective film. I was like, I'll just leave it on and glue it and like it'll look semi-frosted or whatever. I then spent probably 45 minutes to 30 to 45 minutes just going and taking it off. So I've got a really solid technique for how to do it now. You can see these are still frosted or whatever. They still have the film on it. I'm not going to try and get those. I'm just going to write that off. These two will be my samples that, just come to terms with the fact that they're not looking as good. But man, like I really got the stud glue with no bloom, and then also the seam glue with no bloom down. Once I figured out the way to do it, and so super happy with how it turned out. I had actually gotten to the point where I was going to return them. I had reached out to, I believe it's called Flying Box. Sorry, I'm putting up my tripod stand. It's like in the way. I reached out to a company that made these. They're called Flying Box. Great customer support. They were willing to take them back, but in that time, I had the conversation with the wife, and then I was like, I think the best solution is these. It allows us an amount of versatility while potentially taking up less room. So I can clear off the table. I can put stuff up on the wall if I want to. There's just like a lot of different things I can do. The space utilization is becoming problematic. Talked about it a whole bunch. But I'm just like, I think it startled my wife. I was just staring at, like, that's just how I figure out the problems. Like, I'll just sit and look at it and then go over the scenarios and what we want to do and how I want it to feel when I walk out here. And feel ultimately was the thing that got me. I don't want a bunch of racks of acromills in here. That just doesn't feel happy. It doesn't feel good to walk into all the time. And so like I want to be able to display some of this stuff and enjoy it. Even though it's only temporarily here for a little bit. So that's where it got me. I love the way the figs look on those racks. And I think I can figure out a good way to utilize the space well. And still get to enjoy them while getting some table and additional storage space. So more on that in the future. I'm not sure what's going to happen next, but I've got 2 more of these things to build. They take about 45 minutes to an hour each, only because I'm gluing all of it. I was really happy I decided to glue all of them because when I was taking the Star Wars figs off, the studs were coming every time. It was just one row that was particularly bad. But I was like, I couldn't imagine being at a convention and like trying to manage that as well. It's just not anything I want to do. It's not anything I want to think about. Like I want these just to be display racks that set and forget and come back to at some other point, like easy peasy. So yeah, I've got 2 of these more to do. And then the really hard part to stomach, these are about $110 each. I've got 4 more I need to buy. At least, I think I want to do 9 just because of how they fit in the bookcases. So that would mean I've got 5 more of these to build. So when I finish with all of these, I'll still not even be halfway done. Yikes. Gotta admit, the smell is awful from the CA glue. I pop open the garage door when I'm working on this, and then there's a fan blowing above me. But still, it's just like really makes your stomach nauseous. So. Yeah, that sucks. It would be like a lot faster if I just had one other person, 50% faster, doing some of the like grunt work of like just popping studs inside. It's not only the fact that I have to glue the studs, I also have to put them in. And so there's a bag of them somewhere. Right here. I have a bag of studs that I have to put in each of the holes. And so just another thing that isn't great about it. But great product. If you were doing these for display and didn't need the rigidity, like it would be awesome. Highly recommend. The space in between them, the utilization, everything, the craftsmanship. Just be aware it does kind of suck to peel off the protective film, but that's there so that when you get them, they're not just destroyed. So yeah, I think it's Flying Box. Let me double check before I say anything else. Flying Box, yeah, sweet. Check them out. They're great. The reason I got them also was because they fit in IKEA Billy bookcases. That's what they're for. That's what I have. In a very specific section. So like that was pretty rad. Like I didn't have to measure or worry about dead space or any of that stuff. So it was a great product that like fits a need, and there needs to be more products like this because we're as far as IKEA goes, it's like kind of the go-to. Every shelf that we have in here is IKEA. Yeah, there's a lot of good display cabinets that they have as well. But yeah, check them out. Flying Box. Check in soon. All right, I got about maybe 10 minutes left in my day before I pick up the little one. A lot of gluing, a lot of peeling, a lot of moving minifigs. We'll start over here. The table is pretty much clear. I need to move that guy, and then I'll pull this off. Feels weird. I don't know. We'll see. But the payoff is over here. I think this looks great. Super easy to pick. Like, man. I'm gonna pick from it for a little bit and see. But really, 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 really like it. I'll probably wheel these cabinets over in front of it. And so it'll sit blocking those sets, which isn't a big deal because like I can just pull it forward and grab it. So interesting. It took a long time to do the last two. My God. The glue up on it was like incredible. Like I don't know if there was any haze or anything on it on the end. Yeah, pretty awesome. Height wise, this is like pretty good. And then I think I want to do 9. So I can, Star Wars needs to expand. I think I want to go just light side, centrist, dark side, like in their own pockets. Because I need gaps so that when I want to add figs, I can add figs and stuff. Like, so there's that. And then it'll fill up. My goal is to probably put them here and then put the wheelie things in front, or put the wheelie things over here and then put a big long top across it or something. We'll see. But all in all, man, it looks good. Those look cool. Come on, bounce out, gimbal. I swear my ground isn't that crooked. But yeah, take a look. High-end stuff at the back. I think that was the one delineation I didn't like. Is like with the bump at the on the displays I had before. Like put the high-end stuff there, and then there's room to put low-end stuff. And here, it's like jammed up right against it. I don't know how better to do that. I'll have to think on it for a bit. I don't want to dedicate other space to it. So we'll see. Yeah. And then Batman and Marvel mix a bit on this. Down here, it's all Marvel. CMFs fit really, really poorly. I hope that's not what's going to happen with CMFs over here. I don't think so. Yeah, we'll see. And then Batman just doesn't have a lot of space. It sells out fast. I'm not sure what to do with it. But yeah, I think like stepping back into the space and looking at it, it just is really nice to look at. Yeah. Now it's just figuring out what to do with the shelf space. But God, man, the glue up on that thing was painful. Like the idea of doing 5 more, I think I want like my hand from squeezing the glue out was just like I had to take breaks. Um, and then I think if I was to do it one more time, I would buy the other ones I need and then do like an assembly day. I think the total amount of time for the last two, I spent a lot of time doing other stuff, moving stuff. So I think it comes out to 45 minutes each, like with glue up and everything. Um, but now that I know how to do it, it's not as painful, but yeah, it's just kind of rough. Um, Tomorrow, I'm going to clean off one of the tables today or tonight, see how that looks, move these carts around, see if I can get a good spot for those. And then I don't know if it's really weird because we do have half of the stuff on the old tables. I don't know what to even do with those either. If anyone's interested, please reach out, let me know. I think I'm going to store them in my attic for a bit. I don't know what to do with them. They're great. They work fantastic. It's just like the amount of space that they take up is nuts. They cost so much to make when I made them because I made them a very specific size and then they could also fit in our vehicle. And so that part was, yeah, painful. It's painful to be spending that money again. But with these things glued up, like they'll be able to go to shows with us. They'll be able to be used for garage sales, all that type of stuff. I do need to make a box for the back ones to sit on. But I don't think that's going to be difficult. I think I'll come across something that'll work. Hopefully like maybe like a bin, but I'm just afraid, like I just don't want it to be able to be knocked, like somebody bump into it and then have the whole thing move. So, I've got an idea for what I can do. I actually just thought of something. I could build a frame for over the top of them for when we're transporting it, and then take that top frame off, set it beside or behind it, and then the back one can sit on that, which would be pretty rigid and awesome. So I think I solved it. It's just a lot of work, like building a wood box. I know this company sells them. I might buy 2 just for that purpose. I don't know. We'll see. I'll reach out to them and see. They're not super expensive. I just didn't want them for what I was planning on using them for over here, because the box I believe you lift off in order to do it, and I didn't want to do that because of where these were going to sit. If it had been doors that swung open, I might have considered it, but I don't know. I know there's options for like flaps and stuff too. But sweet. All right, that's it for the day. We did have some sales come in, which was awesome. I don't know what sold. I'm just going to check it right before I go. 8 orders. Wow. Oh, 561 this month is what it's saying. And so I guess that's today. Wow. All right. Got some work to do tomorrow. Anything big? What big? Nope. Oh, Grievous sold. Sweet. Yep. Check in tomorrow. Sweet. Bye. Good morning. It is Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, and we're getting started. Yesterday was super eventful. Got a ton done. Really, really, really happy with the displays. Wife came out here and saw them set up and was like, damn, that looks good. Which, if she's saying that, it means it really does look good. So happy about that. I just picked orders. There were no items that needed to be picked from the new displays, and so that was a little sad. But plenty more to come. I also bit the bullet and bought 5 more. So I spent all that time yesterday building 4. Now there's going to be 5. Kind of not looking forward to that. Honestly, my hand was just cramping from squeezing the super glue bottle, because you have to glue every stud, and each display is like 144 or something times 2 because there's 2 studs. That's not counting the joints. And so, it's almost 1,000 joints I did yesterday. And definitely would be funner if somebody was standing next to me, like doing a part of it, like adding the studs or whatever, like just kind of working through it with someone. But what can you do? I think I'll plan better next time. So as a result, there's a table missing. It looks super hollow and empty in here. there's a ton of stuff on the ground right now. We got boxes that need to go out. We've got a ton of stuff that needs to be put away. This is how I used to have it set up. So like this was like the corner I ended up working in the most. And I would build this like I would honestly build a U-shaped one and put this table, take the tablecloth off, and then bring it at me. I might end up doing that again, not really certain. But I do know I'm going to pursue putting all the figs over here. And I think I'm going to take up the top 3 sections and just push that way. Like it looks so good. It functions so well. It hits all our markers. They're ultra solid when they're glued. It's the perfect thing. So let's not shy away from it. Let's lean into what's working, and we'll get the rest of these. I'm excited to see what it looks like. And then on top of that, my boxes came. I had ordered a bunch of boxes. It's super exciting to see a box. It's kind of what I had planned, is that I'm going to box up sets. So that's a complete set. I put it in a sealed bag. Basically, I break it into chunks when I'm shipping stuff. Seal the bags, and then if anything breaks off, you can see like what section it came from. It's not perfect. Like people have to put stuff back together, but it's not like smashed to bits or whatever. Like it's the best way to securely pack stuff. You don't want a really delicate model with like wings and stuff. Like on that one, like I popped both the wings off, put them in a different section, sealed it, and really fast to do. So like my idea was close 3 flaps and then pin this down, and then on the outside it says what it is, and then when it's time to ship, open the contents, verify everything is there again, and then fold packing materials, fold in tape. I mean, that should work, and it'll help me get a lot of these small sets off off the shelves. I think I'm just gonna keep big stuff on the shelves, like at the top. There's definitely the secret door corner. I can take a lot of this space by just turning these sideways, which like this is a blind spot for me. Like when I'm looking out here, I'm always just looking at this stuff. When I realized that, I was like, oh man, like I have a lot more space instantly just by doing that. And then what was the other thing? I can't remember. But I get a ton of space there. Oh, yeah. So I'm worried about the 80 sets that I have in the back. It's pouring rain today, so it's not going to get touched today. We're going to hit Quickie Mart and then also do more cleaning and organizing in here. But I always have people reaching out. I had 2 people reach out yesterday. One person had 50 unbuilt Star Wars sets from the last 10 years that they just want to get rid of. And they're going to send me a list today, and I'm going to go through it and send them over an offer. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of stuff. If I have a queue of collections, like I feel really good, and I definitely am feeling pretty good right now. We processed all those figs, made them available yesterday, and then the sets are going to be added. And so like that's going to be another big chunk of value that we can add to the store, and then potentially this other one. I talk about it a lot, but the way that I would handle those sets, since they are unbuilt, is I'd ask for a couple of them, commit to buying those, and then inventory them because they're unbuilt. And then after they're done being inventoried, we'll see how complete they are, and then use that to inform our purchase on the whole lot. It's been our process, and we've been successful with it in the past. It does take a level of trust from our customers, and that they have to trust that we're not going to scam them or anything, but that's not what we're looking to do. It's not how we operate. It's just, yeah. And so anyone that's done it has, yeah, I had somebody that dropped off like it was like a $12,000 collection. And just were like, hey, here you go. And yeah, they made out like bandits. We did great. Like, it's fantastic. So yeah, very excited to potentially get that one. And then there was one other one that was, yeah, people just keep reaching out. If you got Lego to sell, reach out. Love to chat. On awesomeblockshop.com, you can submit photos and just a write-up of what you've got to sell. My favorite thing is when people leave their phone numbers, because I just call, like the guy that had the 50 sets. I just called him, and he was like, I think I caught him off guard. He's like, who? And I was like, oh yeah, Thomas with Austin Block Shop. He's like, oh, Legos. I was like, yeah, sorry, man. And jump right into it. Always have great conversations with people. I like talking to people on the phone because it puts them at ease instantly, knowing that we're somebody that's thorough, direct, and they're going to follow through. When you're working with people in this space, that is not the case. And then if we're able to set expectations on what they can receive, then that helps to make everything super, super easy. Like with the collection I just processed, shot him over our rates, and he was like, great, sounds good. Come up to my house and take a look at it. We did that. There was no massive debate. It was like, here's the assessed value for the collection. Here's our offer. And he's like, sweet, let's do it. So that made me really happy. I love it when it goes like that. It's difficult when people are haggling over percentages on small items. Percentages on, like on sets, or collections, I don't really do percentages. Well, you use percentages as a starting base, but then we negotiate the number, right? Haggling over or fractions of percents or something isn't really anything I do. I just use the percentage to inform the number and then start from there. So, but yeah, that was really good. I feel good when I have stuff in the queue. I've got to get rid of these boxes. I don't know how this room is going to feel when the center of it is empty. That we've had that table set up like that for like 4 to 5 months, I think, if not more. So it'll, like when we go to do a sale, we'll put it back and I'll move the racks off the walls and stuff like that. Because I don't want people shopping from them when they're in those bookcases. It's just like too nooky. Like people can, I don't know, hide stuff or whatnot. So I like it when it's out in the open. We can see everything. We can see what people are interested in and all that type of stuff. But yeah, feeling good in here. It just feels like a completely different space with the new added drawers and then with this thing going away. And then the only other thing that we have to figure out, I've got tons of bins because we sold off all that bulk. Got to put those somewhere. We use them all the time. It's just like, it just happens to be that right now we don't have anything that's taking them up. And then I have color sorted bulk. Super useful when you're looking for one-off stuff, but I don't know. I kind of want to get one of those IKEA calyxes like this one, but big. Like you kind of see how my tubs all fit in here behind the Austin Block Shop banner. The tubs fit in there like pretty good. I don't know. It'd be cool to have one that's like 4 times as big, and then just fill it up with those bins so that I can have color sorted stuff in there. I don't really like using color sorted stuff, but it's the fastest way to just check to see if we have the thing outside of the wall, the part type sorted wall. So yeah, a lot of times I'll just, like I said, I'm like, I'm not going to dig forever, and I'm just going to add it to my parts list and then concede that this thing won't be ready for sale for, up to a month, depending on one, when I'm able to find it, and 2, when the stuff actually comes in. So sometimes it's just better to write it off and be like, cool, that's that. And then it makes it easier when you're doing other sets that have stuff that's missing, because then you can just be like, all right, like here's the sum of all the stuff that I need to order, and then again add it to cogs because it's the cost to actually make the item, and you're good. Sweet. Quickie Mart cleanup, and then I think I want to box some sets up, and we'll see how that comes out. I bought some clips to hold that flap down on these boxes that I think will work well. They're pretty rigid, so I'm hoping that they're strong enough. This is an instance where if I had a 3D printer, I would just 3D print clips. But I don't, and I don't know where I'd put one. I really wanted one, and was eyeballing one for a while, and then tons of stuff hit at the same time. And it's like, I honestly don't know when I would have time to do it. Definitely something I want to get my son into. 3-year-olds can use 3D printers. It's his birthday, right? He'll show me how to use it in a year. But yeah, sweet. I will check in soon, see if anything cool comes out. It looks like Quickie Mart's ready to go, and then I have bulk drying. Yeah, I'll check in soon if anything cool comes up. I did have, actually, for the first time, I had in my giant wall storage of parts and pieces. Someone ordered 2 different Minecraft parts from this drawer, and they're not there. And I haven't had that happen. I even went and looked I looked at every 120 drawer. I looked at every 20 drawer. I looked in every drawer in that area. I looked in Bricker to see what I was working on at that time, to see what drawer I was more commonly putting things in. Absolutely can't find it, so I'm gonna have to reach out to that customer. And then I did pick everything. It looks like kind of a mess, but some big ones. We had the Grievous from yesterday. Always Ninjago a little bit, but we've added so many CMFs that we sold a ton of CMFs already. Sasquatch. What's this? Newt Scamander. A regular police dude. I think this is a modular one. Yeah, it is a modular one. Pretzel Girl. D&D dude. Leo was good. The most expensive stuff that we sold, though, were actually, it's not even being displayed. Slimer and Vankman. For some reason, they decided it was important to mold Slimer's butt, which I thought was really funny. I actually really love that one, and I was sad to see it go, but I'm sure I'll come across another one. Or be buying it for $50+ in a couple of months. So these two sold for, I think it was 54. We had our last Grievous, man, he just rips out of here. He sold for 50. And then this is, what's his name? Oh God, Pirates of the Caribbean, the captain with the claw hand. I did end up parting him out, and the head sold, and the head was like almost $50. And so happy I did that, because I almost bought the claw for 50 and decided not to. I was like, I'm just gonna part it out. But I mean, this is a cool head. Cool. Thanks, Focus. Yep. Trust me, it's cool. Look it up on Berkeley. And then yeah, that was pretty much it. So this was $337. And there was also somebody added and placed an order and requested to cancel it immediately. But I don't see the contents of it here, so that's good. So maybe they got it on their end. I'm not really sure. It was for some Ninjago pants. Not really sure what happened. But yeah, I'll package these up, get these sent out, and we'll get rolling. All right, it's Thursday. It is now about 5:19. I just finished up Quickie Mart. I took probably about a 30-minute break. I think it took 4 hours. Yeah. It gets to be painful sometimes when you're inventorying sets. When you know at the end of it, you still have to order stuff. It wasn't missing anything. It had damaged stuff, and I couldn't replace the damaged stuff. And so, yeah, there were like 2 of these corner dark orange wedges that were $3 a piece. And I was lucky to find somebody that had 2 of them. So that kind of sucked. All in all, I spent probably an extra $35 ordering parts for it. I mean, it's a really expensive set, so like it's got to be done. I'll add it to COGS and then go from there. The overall cost for the product. But yeah, it's over. It's done. Now I just have to wait for parts to come in. I piggybacked some of the stuff. I was able to. I had some. I had some reddish brown hinges that I needed to replace for another set, and so I was able to order those. It's funny because like I like to wait until I have a couple of things that I need in order to order, so that I can combine them, but it never ends up working out the right way. You always end up having to make multiple orders. Like there's only one person that had 5 out of the 6 things, and yeah, there's no one that had 6 out of 6. So I just spread it out over 2 orders. But yeah, all in all, pretty awesome. Glad to have that done. Now all of the sets that came in complete from that collection are done. So I think I'm going to move on to boxing some sets up and see how that goes for a little bit, and we'll check in after that. Good morning, y'all. It is Friday. It's Good Friday, actually, and with that, it means the kiddo is home. So I'm watching him, but my wife's sick also. Pretty brutal. Came out of nowhere. So she's recovering. I got the little one out here. Probably gonna be a short video. Yesterday made a lot of progress. Finished the Quickie Mart. That was amazing. And then also Started to pack small sets up off the wall and get those put away. It goes really fast when you're just knocking them out back to back. It's really slow when I'm processing orders in the morning and I need to package up one set and then like I have to go switch over, get the box, start bagging stuff, make sure all the area is clear and all that stuff. I was able to knock out like 20 different sets bagged, and that's like bagged with the sealers. Like I have two different impulse sealers, like fully sealed and everything. And was able to do about 20 of them. And so like it gives me a lot of hope that everything small and medium I'll be able to knock out. I did have one issue. Undermounted here is this is I want to say a LVP. I think that's LPDE or something. It's a certain type of lay flat bag. This is a 2 mil, so like millimeters is the thickness. I have you can see this roll is almost done. I bought these like at the very, very, very start of doing anything Lego. I've had them for almost easily a year and a half. And like, I think I paid $45 for each of them. And it was 1,000 feet. I finally ran out yesterday, which was bad timing because I needed those larger size bags. Cost effectiveness wise, like cannot be beat. Like crazy, crazy cheap. Issue now is they've like gone up to $75 to $100 per. I don't know if that's tariff related. I'm not really sure what's going on with that, but pretty surprised. But those have been steadfast in like a fixture within this shop. So I ordered them. I ordered some more, especially since we're gonna be bagging up sets. Oh, I'll fix it for you, buddy. One sec. Let's see. But yeah, so ran out of that, so that kind of put a damper on things. I'll get that knocked out in a bit. We get the new roll in today. We sold about $200 worth of stuff yesterday. I'll switch over and see. Nothing crazy. This medical droid killing it. 25. Han. I think I've had that Han forever. And then CMFs have just been going really, really well. Obviously we added a ton. And then, but yeah, I don't think there's anything crazy. Just a solid haul. But yeah, things are moving and grooving. I got, like I said, 20 sets boxed up and it was like nothing. And so my biggest issue is just having the right size boxes without having like a massive void in them, because then it starts to get cost ineffective. But up to about 3 pounds, it's still similar to like if you had a smaller box, maybe 10 to 15% more. But after you go past 3 pounds, you're paying a lot more. That's it for today. I think it's going to be a slow day on this side. Just getting through it. Heading into the weekend, we're pretty busy with Easter and stuff. So we'll check in maybe on Monday. Yeah, see you then.